Instead of complaining on your laptop or on your phone on WhatsApp about how Africa is this, Africa is this, Africa is this, take a step today. He may not be the best president of the Gambia, but he has made history. That Hi guys, it's a girl Adama Tams, also known as Gelo Wapa Z, girl from Zambia. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you will be notified that Gelo Wapa Z I post poka video. Thank you so much for returning to my YouTube channel, Na Totela Sana. In this video, I'll be talking about the current president of the Gambia. His name is Adama Barrow. Now, I've just uploaded a video on my YouTube channel talking about a young boy that was selling the Gambia to the world and talking about how you can invest in the Gambia. And I was wondering, if the president has noticed this young man. So in Googling about the president, trying to know who the president is and what the president is called, what his name is, I discovered that there was some history. A very interesting and inspiring history for you and me that live in the diaspora. This is something worth pondering about. You see, many a times we limit ourselves. We feel Africa is dead. There's no opportunities there. But if you know that there are so many opportunities in Africa, you would consider taking certain paths there. This man, Adama Barrow, lived in the UK, and I was surprised. The Sun newspaper have written an article about him which is dated 2017, but I loved what I read, and I thought, let me bring this to my YouTube channel to inspire you to work hard in life and know that it is possible for you to achieve your goal. So this is the article. The article title is Former Argos security guard, elected president of Gambia, finds country coffers are empty. Former depot leader fled country with millions of pounds. Now, that got me. He lived in the UK, worked as a security guard, and now he is the president of the Gambia. Interesting. So, the article adds, Gambia's new president who once kept an eagle eye out for shoplifters whilst working in Argos has revealed his hated predecessor has nicked millions of money from the bank's nation. In the UK they call it nicking, meaning stealing. Now, Adama Barrow, who 15 years ago tackled troublemakers at the discount store in North London, meaning Argos. Argos is this discount store. They still, different things, equipment, house appliances and everything. And he was a security guard, guarding that place. Never despise small beginnings, guys. Listen to this. And he has risen to become the president of his homeland. They add an image of the ex-president Yahya Jammeh, who waves the crowds and supporters with the stolen money from his country, because the guy literally ran away from the country. So Adama Barrow was a security guard in the UK. Okay, so this comes after, so Adama Barrow's opportunity as a president of the Gambia came after his obviously ex-job, which is being a security guard in the UK in the north of London. This comes after Islamist autocrat Yahya Jammeh booted out when a West African regional military force entered the capital city of Banjul and took control of the presidential place. Is it palace? Presidential palace. After ruling the country for 22 years. So the president that ran away and left this opportunity for this man who worked in Argos basically was the president for 22 years in the Gambia, and he knew that, the military taking over, something might happen to him, so he decided to put out of the Gambia with money which he stole from the country. Jammeh waved his supporters before flying out of the country in a small unmarked plane, conceding power to Mr. Barrow. So Mr. Barrow took over. But to his horror, Mr. Barrow has discovered that the former dictator had flown off with a small fortune which he stole from his own country. So the man ran away with a lot of money, and Mr. Barrow discovered later. I mean, if you've watched CR1 on my YouTube channel, he stated this before, that most of these presidents, when they leave Africa in the private jets, if they're going to other parts of the world, they carry money to send it wherever. So this is what they are saying here as well. So speaking to radio station RFM, that was a Sun newspaper, they were saying in Senegal, the president said, according to information we received, there is no money, and there is no money in the coffers. It is what we have been told, but the day we actually take office, we will clarify all of it. In the news conference later in that day, this is 2017, guys, Barrow advisor Mai Ahmad Fati confirmed $500 million. It's good to research. I didn't even know the currency is called dollars. Dollars, which is 9.2 million pounds, had been withdrawn by Jammeh in the past 2 weeks. How did he manage to withdraw 9.2 million pounds? Ish, our African leaders. The iron-fisted leader who said he would rule for 1 billion years lost an election in December of that year of 2017, but refused to step down last week, meaning obviously during the period of 2017, instead of remaining holed up in the presidential palace. But suddenly he left. This is Yaya, guys. He left and flew to Equatorial Guinea, where he will remain in exile. I need to do a video on him alone, just talking about, where he is today. Is he in exile? Is he still alive? Because I'm just basically focusing on Adama Barrow for this video. The president of the Economic Community of West African States, Marcel Alain de Souza, had said, obviously, that this man had remained in exile. So this is a beautiful image of the current president being sworn in as the president of the Republic of Gambia. I will share it here. The ceremony, the swearing in ceremony at the inauguration of Gambia President Adama Barrow at the Gambian embassy in Dakar, Senegal. This is the first time I'm also hearing that you can actually swear a president into office through an embassy. So this is different. Actually, I've never heard of this before. So meanwhile, Mr. Barrow, a former security guard of Argos in London, was sworn in the Gambia's presidency on the Thursday of that particular year in a bizarre inauguration ceremony in the Gambia's embassy in Senegal. The Arsenal fan, the British people, they even added Arsenal fan so that Arsenal should also click. The Arsenal fan, Mr. Barrow. The Arsenal fan, Mr. Barrow 51. The British even added Arsenal fan so that they should affiliate themselves with this guy. 51, who is intentionally recognized as a rightful leader, declared a victory of the Gambian nation and also urged troops to stay in their barracks after being sworn in as a leader. Wow. And then there's images of holidaymakers that were fleeing the Gambia. I'm going to add that as well. It was courtesy of Reuters. And it also states that last Wednesday, Thomas Cook has to dispatch extra staff to Gambia and began the repatriation of flights, because at that time obviously it was a scary situation. We don't even know when these people are gonna be back from the UK or whichever country, so they had to make sure that people were brought back to the UK and other parts. The Gambia, by the way, is a very popular destination for the British people in terms of holidays. They talk about it a lot. They love the beach, they love the people. They say Gambian people are so friendly, and the food as well. So I'm not surprised that this happened. So they were saying that there was 3,500 customers in the country. So lots of people were there, about 3,500. So the day before Jammeh, ruler, he's been a ruler since 1994 to 2017. Can you imagine that? He called on security forces to crack down on opponents and declared a state of emergency, giving himself an extra 90 days in power as he contested in the election. That was in 1994. But the Gambia's new president said he will launch a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to investigate the alleged human rights abuses of Jammeh's 22-year regime on Saturday of 2017. Now, this is so interesting, and I'm so glad that I came across this story, because this story has inspired me and is also an inspiration to you who lives in the diaspora, that thinks that if you are sitting down here in the UK or any part of the world, or you think Africa will be stuck or will be waiting for you, or if you don't ever make a move that things will change, you need to make that step. This was a security guy, and that is why I always value people and respect people when I meet them, wherever I meet them, because you don't know their life tomorrow. This man was on the doors of Argos, making sure people don't steal, and today he's a president. Not just a president of a political party, but a president of a country with powers conferred on him as the person to take care of the Gambia. This is an amazing story, and I thought I should share this because I know you will be inspired. Instead of complaining on your laptop or on your phone, on WhatsApp, about how Africa is this, Africa is this, Africa is this, take a step today. He may not be the best president of the Gambia, but he has made history. That from being on the doors of Argos, doing menial jobs, because that's a menial job. He was a security guard. Now he has over 1,000 security officers that monitor him. And it's a good experience for him, because then he can also share his experience of security and, CCTV and all those things that you can talk about. I'm really inspired by this story. Mr. Adama Barrow. If you come across this video, sir, please invite me to the Gambia. At least I should see you one-on-one. We talk about UK. We talk about the lifestyle here, where you are a graduate and they make you work in shops. They make you work as a cleaner. They make you work all the menial jobs, because the highly qualified jobs, they'll say you don't have experience. I've done a video before talking about how I worked as a cleaner with my degree. I am linking it down below. And this story has inspired me. Now you see that everything that I bring to this YouTube channel is to inspire you. And I know that I will also play a role in my country, Zambia. With a story like this, I am going for it. This is my inspiration, Adama Barrow. With that, guys, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. It's a girl Lalama Tams, also known as Gelowapa Z. Never give up in life, and don't underestimate yourself. You could be the president of your country tomorrow. So get out from that seat. Get out from that office. Get out from that cleaning job. Get out from your situation and take a step of faith. You may be the leader that your country is waiting for. I may be the leader that Zambia is waiting for. We don't know. Until you take a step, you will know where your potential lies. And it is all about destiny. From a security guard to the president of a country. Guys, now this deserves a clap. I also forgot to add that our late president, Michael Chilufya Sata, was also cleaning the trains in London, and then he became a president. I'll do a separate story about that because there's also an article about him as well on the UK news media. So even me, one day, they will also say the single mother of 4 children becomes president, and they'll even add to say at one time she was homeless, like they always like to add to spice up their story. But I'm so inspired by this story. So in reading from Sky News have also written an article about this man, Adama Brown, and they state a former security guard ended the 22-year-old rule of the president of Gambia in a shock election victory. Now, the shocking part is that, despite Adama being known to the people of Gambia, he's only just been known within 6 months. That was according to 2016 December report by the Sky News. He defeated Yaya Jama. Destiny. Trust me on this. You see, he obviously won an election, and the election was by defeat of votes, obviously. So Mr. Barrow had 263,515 votes, which is a 45% of the total, whilst Jame had 36%. This man is blessed. He's a father of 5, and he's come into the limelight after, being in politics since the month of July of 2016. Can you believe this? From the United Democratic Party, with 8 opposition parties joining forces to put him forward as the unifying figure. Wow. Hey, Adama, I gotta meet you, sir. I have to meet you. And according to Sky News, this man is now owning an estate agency, because he had lived in London, in the UK, for 3.5 years when he was younger, working as a security guard for Argos in London, where he developed his love for the Arsenal club. Did you see how they brought in the fact that he worked as an Argos security guard? He only worked there for a few years in his younger days, but hey, they had to bring it up. That is why I always talk about character. Your character is very important, because if you find yourself in a great position like that, they will write about you, especially if you've lived in the diaspora. So make sure you live clean in the diaspora, so that at least even if they talk about you working in Argos, it's nothing shameful, but it's an inspirational story. Okay, so there was obviously a coalition government which Omar Amadou Jallow, an opposition leader of the People's Progressive Party, said the result will delight Gambians. He said, "We are happy to be free. We are able to be free, to free the Gambian people from the clutches of dictatorship. And we are now going to make sure Gambia becomes a bastion of peace and coalition." Mr. Jema obviously came into power since 1994, like I've already stated, and the human rights groups have accused Mr. Jame of ordering deaths of countless political opponents, as well as targeting journalists and homosexuals. This is a powerful story. You need to be inspired by this. Take care, guys. I can go on and on. This is amazing. I would like to add this. I would like to say thank you so much to my YouTube subscribers that commented on the video about the young man. The video was with a lady named Juliet Ryan, who is a British, obviously, by birth, or maybe has been raised here. I've watched her on Wadamaya's YouTube channel, and now the accent clicked, the name clicked as well, that this is a person. She now lives in the Gambia and has a YouTube channel as well, and I would definitely love to meet her. She's doing amazing works in the Gambia. Obviously, I just said it by the accent because I know that's a British accent, and my conclusion was that she lives here in the UK. But it's good that she has relocated. She's done a video with Adama where she said UK is a dump and she lives a better life in the Gambia. Africa has lots of opportunities, and that's why I keep traveling every year to Africa to make sure that my investments are safe there, and then I will finally relocate to Zambia.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, and follow me on all social media platforms. It's simply at Lulu Motam.